Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Hard Truths, the podcast that doesn't fluff you up, it calls you out. Today, we're going to be talking about something that's killing more potential than failure ever could. And that, my friends, is distraction. See, everyone thinks they're being productive. They're juggling texts, emails, work, social media, podcasts, all at once. They're proud of it. They call it multitasking. But here's the hard truth. Multitasking is making you mediocre. So today, we're going to break this down. What does it do to your brain? Why it's wrecking your ability to do great work? And how to finally take your focus back so you can stop being busy and actually start being effective. Let me hit you with something personal. There was a time when I thought I was locked in. I had 5 tabs, Slack buzzing, music in the background, and I'd tell myself I was grinding. But the truth? I was scattered. I'd work on something for 10 minutes, then jump to an email, check my phone, maybe respond to a text, then try to jump back into deep work like I didn't just split my brain into 5 different directions. At the end of the day, I felt exhausted, but had little to show for it. And that's when it hit me. Being busy isn't the same as being focused. The moment I cut out distractions, silenced my phone, and worked on focused sprints, that's when my output exploded. Less time, more results, real growth. Here's what science has to say. Your brain is not built to multitask. Let me tell you that again. Your brain is not built to multitask. See, studies from Stanford, MIT, and University of London have shown that multitasking drops your productivity by up to 40%, lowers your IQ by 10 points during the task switching, and even shrinks the gray matter in your brain responsible for empathy, decision-making, and emotional control. Think about that. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that handles logic and focus, can only fully engage in one task at a time. When you switch tasks, your brain doesn't multitask, air quotes, it rapidly toggles between tasks. Each switch leaves behind a trace of cognitive residue, forcing your brain to reload context every single time. It's like trying to sprint with your shoes untied. You're still running, but you're tripping over yourself every few steps. Neurologically, your brain is wired for deep, singular focus. This is called a flow state, a heightened state of immersion where your brain operates at maximum creativity and efficiency. But here's the thing. You can't reach flow when you're constantly interrupted. I'll say that again. You can't reach flow when you're constantly interrupted. Every ping, every tab, every check-in robs your brain of its ability to go deep. And over time, it creates a mental environment where your thoughts are shallow, your attention span is fried, and your work feels unfulfilling. So if you've ever been wondering why you can't get into the zone, why your goals feel scattered, why you feel so drained despite doing so much, this is why. Multitasking isn't a flex. It's a self-inflicted handicap. All right, let's drive this with a little bit of imagery, okay? So imagine this. You're standing on a track. In front of you are 5 lanes, each representing a task, a goal, a priority. Now the gun goes off. Bang. And instead of choosing one lane, you sprint 5 steps in one, then hop to the next, then the next. You're moving, sure, but you're not going anywhere. That's multitasking. Lots of energy, no real progress. But now imagine choosing one lane, locking your eyes on the finish line, putting everything into it until you cross. That's focus. That's impact. That's how things get built. Let's go deeper. A 2022 study showed that the average person checks their phone 96 times per day. That's once every 10 minutes. Think about how much of your life you're bleeding into meaningless context switches. That time doesn't come back. Every distraction costs you clarity. Every scroll steals your sharpness. It's death by 1,000 interruptions. And if you don't learn to protect your focus, you'll wake up in 5 years from now wondering where your progress went. So here's your wake-up call. Stop trying to do everything. Start dominating one thing. Let me break down what I personally do, because this isn't theory, it's practice. I block time like a machine. I dedicate blocks of 90 minutes where all distractions go off. Phone on do not disturb, tabs closed. I go deep on one task. That's where my best work happens. Second, I script my day in advance. Every night, I write down my top 3 priorities for tomorrow. No guessing when I wake up. When I start my day, I already know what matters. And I get it. It is going to be tough. I have a newborn, but I still make time. Let's move on to third. I guard my mental bandwidth. I don't engage in pointless debates, gossip, or reactive tasks in the first half of the day. My focus window is sacred. And lastly, I treat deep work like a workout. Focus is a muscle. I train it daily. It's uncomfortable at first, but over time, you build stamina. And soon, you're doing in 2 hours of what used to take you 10. See, you don't need more time. You just need more discipline around your time. Greatness isn't about speed. It's about direction. Pick one path, kill the noise, and go all in. If you made it to the end of this episode, I just want to take a second and say thank you. Not just for listening, but for showing up for yourself. That already puts you ahead of most. This isn't easy work. Looking in the mirror and choosing growth, that takes guts. So give yourself some credit, but don't stop here. Take this episode and apply it. Cut one distraction. Schedule one block of deep work. Take your time and energy seriously, because no one else will if you don't. If this episode hit you, send it to someone who needs to hear it. And tag me at Danny Livin. That's DANNYLYVIN. Let me know what you're doing this week to reclaim your focus. This is Hard Truths. Until next time, get laser focused or get left behind.